Hey folks, Cool18 here, and welcome to Let's Try Heroes of the Storm Technical Alpha, which is kind of a stupid name, but there you go. Heroes of the Storm is a new MOBA, multiplayer online battle arena, developed by Blizzard. It's very similar to something like a Dota or League of Legends and that sort of thing. But they have gone in a few different directions that definitely makes this kind of a unique game. And so far, everyone that's been playing the game has said it's just pure fun. There are things that you might think you might miss from the MOBA genre, like, for example, you don't buy items. And it turns out that that's kind of okay. You just end up with a really, really fun experience. So right now it is not open to the public quite yet, but maybe soon it will be. It will be free to play, with the idea that there will be a certain number of heroes unlocked at any given time that will rotate from week to week, and then you can pay to unlock some more. So there's lots of stuff that is not yet in the game. You do have sort of a level on your account itself, and as you level up, it unlocks a few other features. So it sort of slowly introduces you to a few different things. For example, if I were to play right now in a regular game, I get a slightly different selection of talents, or a limited selection of talents, because I haven't quite leveled up to 8 yet. And it's meant to sort of ease you into things, and we'll see what we mean by talents a little bit later as soon as I go into a game. Now, there won't be a true gameplay in this video. If you do, there will be a video that follows immediately after this one, which will be me playing a regular match. But yeah, so in here we're just going to talk about the client and what the game looks like. So we'll take a quick look at a few of the things. We've got a profile over here. You'll notice the match history and profile summary currently don't do anything, and also have not unlocked the ability to do hero quests. So there are going to be daily quests and I guess a daily hero quest available, well, I guess every day, and by completing these quests you can get extra XP and gold. XP will level up your account, and gold is what you use to purchase new heroes. Of course, we can also throw money at that, but I quite like it. This is something that Blizzard did with Hearthstone. It turned out to be incredibly fun. It encouraged you to try different things and do different things, and log in every day to do X, Y, and Z, and then wrap it up if you don't want to play for hours and hours and hours, and it can be very satisfying. So we'll go and take a look at the shop and see what the different heroes and such there are. So they are heroes from various games from the Blizzard universe, so Dota, StarCraft, and World of Warcraft. So you've got Zagara here from StarCraft, we've got Murky, the baby Murloc from, well, mostly the Warlock universe, although Murlocs have been making an appearance kind of all over the place. Brightwing is a dragon, fairy dragon from the Warcraft universe. Lily is a character from Warcraft. Tychus, of course, from StarCraft. Stitches from Warcraft. Arthas from Warcraft as well. Diablo from, I can't remember what game Diablo might be from. Gee, I'm not sure. Tiro from Diablo, and so on and so forth. There's a fairly good selection of different heroes already in the game. They're divided into a few different roles. You've got the warriors, which are sort of bruiser, tanky type people. You've got your assassins, high damage dealers, maybe a little bit squishier, but good at getting the final kills. Support, which help support other people, either by having various disables or heals. For example, I just played a game as Malfurion, which is actually going to be the game that you're going to see right after this video. He's got a couple of heals, but he also has an ability to root people to the ground and really set up a lot of kills, and I actually enjoyed playing him quite a bit. And then finally, they've got the specialist category, which I'm not 100% sure what that means, but they're certainly like weirder characters. Abathur is particularly bizarre in that he sort of just stays in one place and then does things remotely. It's really, really quite strange. Murky is interesting. I played him in the tryout, and we might take a look at that. He's got actually a few things. He's got these pufferfish that can explode and do bonus damage to structures, and some of his talents in-game help him do more structural damage, so he might be a bit of a pusher. He's also got the ability to place an egg somewhere, and if he dies, he'll respawn from that egg. It's kind of weird. So to me, it seems like the specialists have very unusual mechanics that might play the game a bit differently. Sergeant Hammer here, the tank, can actually enter siege mode, where she, I guess, stays relatively static. Yeah, you can't move while you're in siege mode, which is kind of a weird way to play. So yeah, there's a good set of things. So you can see that there's a gold cost underneath. You do get some gold from completing quests and also from leveling up to a certain extent. You get 2,000 gold when you reach, I believe it was level 4. Level 5, you got 2,000 gold, which is enough to pick up quite a few different champs. You can see here Muradin is 2,000. Malfurion was 2,000. Who else? Raynor, and so on and so forth. So some of them you're going to be able to get unlocked at level 5, which by the time you're done the tutorial, and I think you've played like one real game, you'll basically be level 5 and you'll be able to unlock someone. Now, let's have the big question. What does the real money cost of these things are? Well, these 2,000 gold piece ones are $4 USD, which is a fair bit, and then all the way up to the ones that cost 10 grand cost 10 Not really all that cheap. However, there are some bundles, which is not bad. There, if we take a look at the bundles, some of them are skin plus hero bundles, and of course there are skins in here, and I'm actually not sure if you can buy skins with gold. No, you can only buy skins with real money, which is fine. Skins don't really change the game. There's also mounts, and we'll see exactly what that means later on. I actually saw someone in a recent game with the rainbow unicorn mount, which is... well, isn't that special? Whole $20 to be able to leave a rainbow trail behind. You do get the horse automatically, and you can, I guess, use Hero Quest to unlock more colors. That's kind of interesting. Rather than buy things. Okay, well that's good to know. I like the Cyberwolf. That's quite cool. And then yeah, so if we take a look at the bundles, most of these bundles are one of the heroes plus a skin, and if we pop over though to the Heroes Variety bundle, this will give us 10 heroes at, well, I don't know if like this bundle cost of $80.40 is actually a discount. If you go and add everything up, I'd have to go and do the math, and math sounds boring. But it advertises this bundle as being $60% off. So for $32, sort of the cost of a retail game, you can unlock a 10-pack. I feel like the hero unlocks are relatively expensive, but you know, as long as the gold comes in at a relatively decent pace, that's not going to be too shabby. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Well, anyway. So let's take a look at the play mode. Oh, the other thing I will note that this is actually a really cool thing. Let's say that you want to try someone out. Let's say we want to test out Murky. There is this try button, and it will load you up in sort of a testing arena, a single one-lane setup with actually some debug buttons. We'll take a look at it in a sec to let you spawn minions, auto level up, do different things like that, so you can see all the different traits that your character might have. I got a little physics on the fish, and actually if I give him a good shake over here, he'll get dizzy. Isn't that cute? Aww. Let's take a look at the play modes, though. If we hit play, we can do... so there's no custom games or ranked games at this time. There's supposed to be some matchmaking going on even in these standard games, but there's not a visible sort of ranking system, so we don't exactly know how that works. And yeah, there's the practice mode. When you start off, they make you do a game in practice, so you'll have AI allies and opponents. You'll be playing a normal game, though. And then there's cooperative, which is 5 human players against 5 AI players. And then finally versus mode, where it's just humans versus humans in one of the maps. And there are a handful of different maps in the game. That's really where a lot of the appeal is. And unlike standard MOBAs, they've really shaken up the formula. It's a lot less about doing the laning phase and farming up and then killing other people and then just pushing for the win. All the maps have a variety of different objectives, and the gameplay centers heavily around that. For example, one of the maps is centered around sort of a pirate bay. Well, not that pirate bay, but there's a pirate in the middle of this area with a big pirate ship, and you have the ability every now and again. There's chests of gold that will spawn on the map, and so they become points of contention as you go and try to fight over the ability to sort of loot this gold chest. And then once you've got gold coins, they're actually attached to your character, and anyone can see how many gold coins you're carrying. If they kill you, you drop all your coins, and they can scoop that up. And ultimately what you want to do is bring them to the pirate in the center of the map, give him the coins, and if you've accumulated enough coins, the pirate will go and shoot on your behalf for a little while and bombard the enemy base and destroy or damage a lot of their structures. There will be a torrent of cannonballs coming from the center of this pirate bay. So, so that's one example of one of the maps. So there's a lot of these points of contentions. It's a lot of timed ones. There's one map that's got a whole other sort of subterranean level that comes into play from time to time. And they turn out to be really interesting and really fun. The games don't take very long. They take somewhere between, I'd say, 10 to 20 minutes, probably averaging about 15. I haven't played that many games myself, as you can tell by my level, but there you have it. You can team up even in the alpha. You can invite people from your friends list. You can also check off the I am looking for a party box, and things will show up over here, and then people can join in. I'm kind of logged in at an odd time for the US server here. Most people are probably at work right now, so we have that. So yeah, those are the 3 modes there. I will go into the shop and actually pull up a character. You know, the Elite Torn Chieftain is pretty fun. Diablo is pretty cool too. Let's go ahead and play with Diablo a little bit, and we're gonna hit the try button so we can look at what that is. So his stories, he's got a unique and different trait in that when he kills enemies, he collects souls, and that will help him resurrect faster. And also there will be talents that we can get once we're in the game that will affect these sorts of souls. And we'll see how that goes. So that's a very special trait that only he has. One of the examples, and another weird one, is actually Murky, who doesn't have mana, which is kind of odd. It's not acknowledged anywhere here, but when you go into the game, you're like, oh my god, he doesn't have any mana, which is kind of weird. So basic abilities are Shadow Charge, charge an enemy and push them back, Fire Stomp, unleash waves of fire in all direction, and Overpower, grab an enemy, slam them behind Diablo, stunning them and dealing damage. Also gives a choice of two. These heroic abilities are ultimates, and you get to choose one of them in the game. You can play either with your Apocalypse, summon an attack on all enemy heroes on the battleground, or you can do a Lightning Breath, channeled spell that damages, can be re-aimed. So yeah, we'll just hit the try button. It'll load up this sort of testing arena, as you will see here. I mean, it looks like everything else in the regular game, and most of the mechanics work the same, but there's a couple of little twists. Boom, 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 boom. So far in the alpha, I've had one multiplayer game where, like, it didn't work properly. It was kind of weird. But there we go. So here we are. We are mounted to start off with. We can hit, we can go on ground, and we can remount. And mounting is really quite quick. Apparently in the base, that was interesting. Was that actually instant to mount when I was in here? Oh, that's brilliant! Oh, because I was going to say, usually there is a little bit of a cast time. Also, there's a bit of a cooldown when you unmount before you can come back up. There we go, like that. So then you move 40% faster, and everyone in the game has a mount available to them to go to I don't know, to get that done. So these buttons you see here, this is because we're in the testing area, and again, the timer here normally would start at like negative 30 seconds, and after it hits 0, then these gates open, because normally these gates would be locked, but then it would open up, and then the timer would start off normally there. This 1-1 you see here, these are the team levels. Individuals in this game do not have levels. Your entire team levels up as one. So you can't have one person sort of fall behind and become hopelessly useless for the rest of the game, which is actually kind of nice. Additionally, the way the XP system works is a little bit differently. If you're near a minion that dies, you get XP, but your whole team gets experience points. Doesn't matter how many people are in a lane, your whole team still gets the same amount of XP overall. And I think the only way you can not get XP is if there's simply no one there. So it doesn't really matter what kind of lane composition you're doing, as long as someone is in lane, you'll get the XP from the minion deaths. But also there tends to be a lot of jungle minions and things in a normal map. This is a testing map, a single lane, just to test this particular setup. So down here we do have our abilities. You'll notice my Q, W, and E ability I have access to already, just from the start. I've also got my extra trait here. On some heroes, this trait will be an active ability that they can fire off with, like the D key, for example, if you're playing as Malfurion. This will be the Innervate ability, which will let you give someone else some mana, which is quite nice. And here is my heroic ability, which is current locked. I can hit B to Hearthstone back to base, and again I've got my Z over here to summon my mount. When you get back to base, it's actually kind of handy because it automatically remounts you, and like, isn't that a handy little thing? Over here on the left hand side are my talents. You get a talent at level 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, and 20. And these talents change some of your other abilities. So unlike most MOBAs where you unlock your abilities as you go forward and level them up, that is not the case. You start with all your basic abilities unlocked right away, and then I think at level 7 is when you can unlock your heroic ability. But these things will change a few things. So right now the options I have are Regeneration Master, and these are specific to Diablo. Some of these will show up on multiple people. Like Regeneration Master comes up on quite a few of the tanky type heroes, for example. So every 3 regeneration globes I gather. So when you kill a minion, sometimes they drop a regeneration globe, which when you pick it up, heal you and give you some mana back. But if I have this trait, every time I pick up the 3rd one, I get an extra 4 health per second permanently. Well, that's pretty handy, just for sort of survivability and tankiness. Okay, I can also get Devil's Due. Resurrections require less souls. So again, as Diablo, I have a special ability. Every time I kill a hero, I get 10 souls, or I get 1 for a minion. For each soul, I get 5 maximum health. And if I have 100 souls upon dying, I'll resurrect in 5 seconds. Instead of, depending on my level, it could take 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 seconds to resurrect. So being able to resurrect in 5 seconds is pretty fast, though I do lose 100 souls. And 100 is currently my maximum. So basically, if I'm at 100, if I'm at my maximum, when I die, I'll res instantly. But I will lose my health bonus, which kind of sucks, but you know, it's fine. But here, I could do this. Now resurrection only costs 75 souls. That's kind of cool. And for each soul, I would gain an additional 5 health and some health regen, right? So I get, for each soul, I get 5 additional health. So potentially I could get 500 health at full souls. But with the Soul Feast, I would get a total of 1,000, plus get the health regeneration. All right. And then Steal Souls. Gain soul when using Overpower. So Overpower is this ability over here, which flings someone behind me. So with Soul Steal, every time I flip someone with Overpower, I would gain 3 souls, which would give me basically 15 more hit points. Maybe that's pretty cool. So I have to choose this, and these will not repeat. This is like the only time I get an opportunity to choose these. If I take a look at level 4, I can see there I'll be able to pick either amplified healing. So all regeneration and healing received increases by 30. Might be a good thing if I'm paired up with a Malfurion like this. Or I can also pick up Firestorm. So that, not also, but the alternative is I could pick up Firestorm. So now my Fire Wave, which is this ability here, the fire would then turn around and return back to me, dealing an extra 50% damage, or 50% of the normal damage on the way back. So overall, it would add basically 33% more net damage to my Fire Stomp. Well, that's pretty cool. And then at level 7... Oh, I was wrong about when I picked my ultimate. The heroic ability starts at 10. So at level 7, I will get the ability to choose either block, which reduces the damage received from hero basic attacks by 50%, and store up to 2 charges. So 2 shots in a row, I'd cut the damage in half, and then have to wait for it to regenerate. Battle momentum, basic attacks decrease ability cooldown. That's pretty good as I beat people. Then I can spam more stuff. Increase maximum soul count, so now I'd be able to hold 200 souls, basically resulting in a lot of extra health from that. Or Siphon the Dead. Activate, so this would give me an activatable ability on my D. I could consume 1 soul per second to regenerate 3% of my total health per second. So I could basically heal myself up really, really fast. We won't look at the rest right now. We'll just go ahead and start playing the game. I'm going to go and... tell you what, I'm going to pick up Soul Steal, because I'm going to want to flip some people relatively often. And again, because this is the testing ground, I'm going to go ahead and toggle minions, and we're going to start playing the normal game, normal-ish game. So minions and bots are on, so Malfurion will come with me. I can hit C to toggle whether camera is locked or not. Even with a locked camera, it's interesting that I can scroll around. It'll still stay centered on me, it will force me to stay on the screen, and after a while it will auto-center. I can also force the centering with spacebar. I like to have the camera off, though, and then I just hit space whenever I want to. Anyway, let's go ahead and flip this guy and give him a charge over here and some Flame Wave and just do a little bit of damage like that. So I did gain some souls from flipping him because of my special ability. Let's do one of those, and let's charge him into the wall a little bit longer, and then when he tries to run, we're going to flip him back. And I mean, these are just bots. They're not going to be particularly brilliant, we shall say. So I've currently got 24 souls. Now, do I need to actually kill? 25, 26? No, I just have to be around something to get my soul stone. And that's the thing. I don't think there's anything in the game that requires you to actually get a killing blow on anything. In fact, you can even get kill streaks where you are not actually doing the killing. You can see here the takedowns. These are kills. This is kills and assists. There's not a separate column for that. There's nothing in the game that distinguishes between doing a kill and just doing an assist. The game considers to be all the same because it's a team game. And that's really what they keep trying to do here, is create an environment that feels very team-oriented and, you know, isn't going to lead to any sort of salty feelings about anything like that. So let's go ahead and let's auto level up a little bit. It's going to level up both teams. We still have a bit of a lead because, of course, we got that initial kill. Let's level up to the point where we can get our ultimate in this little testing area. So I got to choose some talents. I will take the Firestorm comes back to me. I will take, oh, I don't know. Tell you what, I'll take Battle Momentum so I can spam things more, and we'll take Heroic Breath and see how that works, or Lightning Breath. And so if I do this, how do I, oh, it follows my mouse. Okay, I'm stuck in place, but look at that. That is a cool ability. The other one is kind of interesting. It's a global thing that puts a rune under every enemy's feet, and then 2 seconds later they explode to do damage and stun them. So it can be avoided if they just get the hell out of the way. But it's going to be pretty good in team fights. Just to like force people to move or be stunned, which is kind of a neat thing to do. At least I think so. I would like to stun you into the wall and fire a little bit more. And there we go. And yeah, you can see it doesn't tell you who got the kill at any point. It just says this person died, and it's a team-based game, and everyone levels up at the same time. And I don't know. I think it's actually a really, really good formula. I don't know if it's going to be able to break into the MOBA scene quite like you would get out of League of Legends or Dota or anything like that. I mean, it's hard to compete with the big boys at this point, but it's fun. I will say that it is extraordinarily fun to play. It seems a little pricey, but I don't know. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. So let's talk about these towers, these turrets. They do work in the sort of League of Legends style in that they will focus on minions first always. They don't aggro on you like what could happen in Dota, for example. They also have ammo underneath them. They've got these little dots, and like right now, these towers are actually out of ammo. The ammo does regenerate, so there you can see it actually took a couple of shots at me, but until it does that, I can just attack here with impunity, which is kind of interesting. If you keep up the forward pressure, if you keep having the towers have to shoot at things, eventually you can press forward. And it's something that they seem to have put in the game to make it less static. The fact that a lot of the objectives really help you push and are really powerful in a standard game, which you'll have to see in the follow-up video, already makes the gameplay a lot more dynamic and shorter and less likely to end up in a stalemate. Wow, the bots are really not brilliant. Or at least in this mode. I actually feel like in the cooperative mode, the bots are actually relatively competitive and tough. Yeah, I think they're just like super dumb in this test chamber, but that's okay. That can be fun too. Rawr. So I'm at 100 souls, so I should be getting a lot of extra health as well. Anyway, what else do we want to do? I guess we can keep leveling up and see what other abilities we might be able to unlock. See how the game goes. So, Spell Shield periodically reduces incoming damage. So it's just like block, but it helps against abilities instead of spells. Relentless halves the duration of all disables. Shadow Charge is increased range. Shadow Charge also slows the target. Let's do the increased range thing. See exactly how far that goes. Oh, it's pretty far. Not too worried about the slow, because like if they get around me, then I just flip them with overpower. Oh, apparently I don't this time because I had pathfinding fail, but there we go. Bots are still pretty dumb. There we are. So, I hope you enjoy this little look at Heroes of the Storm, and you can probably expect a few videos of mine. Can I make him dizzy? Is that a thing? You can probably expect a few more gameplay videos there. The goal, of course, in this game is to destroy the enemy's main nexus, their main base, and then you just win. And yet, again, it doesn't come down to necessarily kills or just direct pushing. A lot of these maps will have all these objectives that will help you win. And in fact, if you watch the follow-up video where I play as Malfurion on the Dragonshire map, you will see exactly how important those objectives can be. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.